Welcome to another week of Power Surge, and I am so excited for our guest today. And I mean, we're always excited, I know, but Paula is amazing. She is a woman after my own heart. I love what she said to me that one of her things she lives by is that happiness is a choice, and you all know that I live by that, and I love it. And she is just a dynamic, phenomenal woman. She's a motivational speaker, a coach, a mentor, and an author. And we'll bring her on and we'll talk more about that in just a second. Come on in, Paula.
Hi, thank you. Oh my gosh, it is a powerful day. I love it. I love it.
Absolutely is. And I am so excited to have you share your life story with us. And I know you have your own show, so everybody's got to go to your website and find out your show. But it is Elevating Your Life with Paula Vail. And that's what this show is about, is elevating your life and hearing people's life stories so that we can kind of see along the way things that we can do differently. And I have to say, I am absolutely in love with your book. And, why am I so happy? Why am I so happy? I mean, wonderful book. And it's one of the things that have made you a leader among women and motivation and inspiration in the world. And I would love it if you would kind of help take us through your story and your journey so that we can be elevated by your journey and improve our own lives.
Yes. I mean, oh my gosh, it really is a journey. I could share a lot. The beginning, I will say, is I was a premature baby, less than 3 pounds. My parents were told, don't expect her to survive the night. And I'm here. So I've always had a heart of gratitude. And my attitude was, I'm going to be a positive energy in the world. I'm going to be grateful for my life. It's such a blessing that I'm here. And I, had, growing up like a child and getting older and in school is when, first of several challenges started. And I share all this, quite a little bit about some of the things in my book, Why Am I So Happy? And I will mention real quick, I called it that because in my 27 years working in a restaurant, people would say that to me because I love sharing a smile. I love serving my customers. And I started out working there in college and managed it, then bought it. But that's where the title was. But we have challenges. When I was in junior high, I was bullied.
Oh.
I was real shy. One year, I didn't even take my coat off. And one time, these bully girls, for some reason, kept picking on me. And then one of them beat me up while other kids watched. And and I didn't understand why. But one day I decided I'm not going to worry about this. I am just letting it go. That is them. I'm going to be me, love me, or don't. And that kind of set me free.
Awesome.
And it was actually a few years back at a high school reunion, I had a gentleman come up to me and say, Paula, I just want to say I'm sorry for bullying you in school. And I asked him why did you? And he said, because you were shy, you were nice, and it was easy. See, so it was nothing really me personal. It was just my character. It was their issue.
Yeah.
But so things like that, and losing my dear uncle when I was 17 was tragic for me. The one time in my life I wanted to commit suicide. I was so angry. And then I thought, what, am I going to be angry I lost him? Or am I going to be grateful I had him in my life? Right. And I chose the grateful. And that made a big difference. And then the years of running my restaurant, and I tell, different little stories there, and um, lost my husband when he was 34, so I was a single
Oh,
mom.
wow.
But but I loved it. I was happy. We have the challenges, but then we have what we can be grateful for. And all my life, since high school and English class, I wanted to write a book. And finally, when I turned 60, I said, I'm going to do it. And I literally just made things would come to me and I'd make notes. And it's been really wonderful to see that happen and see all the awards, all the things that's happening with my book. But our life is a journey. A life is challenges, but it really is, you know, one side what we're grateful for, what we strive for, one side, the challenges.
Right. And that's one of the things I love is that not that you've had challenges. So let me rephrase that because I love that you've had challenges. No, I don't love that. I love that you have acknowledged the challenges. You allowed yourself to experience the challenges, and yet you still chose to be happy. And that's like I was saying in the intro, that's one of the things my sister always said is I choose to be happy even though she had all these horrendous things like you happening around her. And I see people that have little things go wrong and they catch themselves wallowing and whining and dwelling on that one little negative thing, or maybe it's a big thing, but they dwell
Mhm.
on it and they don't get beyond it. And
Yes.
I find that your book, Why Am I So Happy, kind of helps us get beyond that. It's not that you pretend bad things aren't happening, they happen to all of us, but
Hmm.
you make the conscious choice to actually be happy.
Yes. Yes. And it's like, okay, this this irritation or this thing that I'm angry or sad about, am I going to give that the control of me?
Yeah.
No, we have that choice. No, we don't have to. We can look at it compassionately. What can I do to make a difference,
Uh-huh.
to possibly help it? And then accept it and move on and
Right.
allow the things that you're grateful for. Allow the joy in the moment, the joy in life. You know, give yourself happiness triggers. Take some time to enjoy what you love, maybe a sunset or music or making cookies or
Yeah.
drawing. I mean, give yourself those things.
Well, explain the triggers, happiness triggers a little bit more, because I think that's something everybody needs to understand and do more of.
Yeah, it's something that we all have. And because we're all different and unique and beautiful and wonderful, ours are different. If it's someone that just, like me, I don't hear music, I feel music. I love music.
I
I
love
can be
that.
in the grocery store and hear a song I like, and I'm dancing while I'm in line to buy my groceries. And, I'll be a weirdo if people, but it can also put a smile on people's faces. But, that's giving myself some joy of something that makes me happy, my particular happiness trigger. And we all have those. So, really, you can be having a difficult day, some challenges. Think about something that makes you happy. Maybe it's just a beautiful memory. Maybe it's a pet that you love holding and loving. You know, give yourself those things. Take some time every day to give yourself some of your particular happiness triggers, and that's going to actually change the vibration of your energy, and that can change your whole day. Thinking of one thing you're grateful for every morning, even if it's just food in the refrigerator. Not everyone has that. That can change the energy of your whole day. It really can. It really is amazing. And we choose where our thoughts are going to go. And then our thoughts create our words.
Mm-hmm.
Our words, our thoughts create what's going to come back to us, what's
Mm-hmm.
going to manifest for us. And we have that within us to create. And really, that's an exciting, beautiful thing. And challenges, you can look at they can make us stronger.
Right.
They can send us down a new path. So, that's part of life. We get through that, but we also are learning, we're growing, we're gaining new, you know, just ways of looking at things, and maybe more gratitude for the good things in life. So all of that is inside us and within us to make the choice of where our thoughts are, make the choice of what we're grateful for, make the choice of what we're going to give ourselves. When I had my restaurant and I would, sometimes I'd be a customer and you could tell that was looking for something to complain about.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And so I didn't get irritated. I took it as a challenge to put a smile on their face. And
Mm-hmm.
I succeeded a lot. I did. But, I just, because they were needing to go the other direction, or, part of them, I think, was, a challenge that no one else may know about. But
Well,
by
and
giving them some kindness, a
right.
smile can help them with that.
And it does. It helps them. But I think as human beings, that we need to remember to stop and say thank you to the people at the restaurant. Somebody did a good job. Ask to see the supervisor and say, I want you to know your waitress or waiter was phenomenal. And I just want you to know I appreciate that, because we tend to only comment when it's not good. And when we do that, we start to focus more on the not good. But if we focus on the good too and comment on the good, we actually begin to notice more good. And so that's something we can do for ourselves. But like you said, smile at other people and understand they may just be having a bad day.
Yep, yep. Karen, that is so true. And that can make such a difference for someone that's working in a service industry, to have someone take a moment to thank them. I love telling a great server. I was just recently took my 94-year-old father out to lunch, and the server was, just so helpful, and you're so awesome, and the smile that was on her face. It's just, and that makes me happy as well.
Yeah. I think it is. It's important that we focus on an attitude of gratitude for ourselves, but that we also point out the good things other people are doing, because we all need to know that we're doing good stuff. And, you got to be honest. If somebody's doing something that's not great, you don't say, hey, loser, you're doing a bad thing. But you might say, when you do this, it gives me the assumption that, is that the assumption you want me to make? And then when they do something great, you say, hey, that was great. And then they really believe you, because I know in business, a lot of bosses believe that to give you bad news, they have to sandwich it. You're great, you suck, you're great. And it's like, so when they say you're great, you're automatically going, okay, now what did I do wrong? And so we as individuals need to really point out when they're great. And if they have done something that's not great, don't share the two together. Do them separate times.
Great. I love that. I love that.
Now, you've talked a lot about energy, and I know you're a Reiki master. What encouraged you to become a Reiki master, and how do you find that energy actually changes your life and your attitude, and the life and attitude of people around you?
Oh gosh, I so love Reiki. learned Reiki 25 years ago to help
Wow.
my beloved pet, Shotzi.
So you
Uh,
started when you were 3.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. She was sick and not doing well, and I learned Reiki, and I had her 2 more years. I fell in love with it. I got my master training in Machu Picchu,
Oh,
where
awesome.
I was running around hugging the alpacas. But
Uh, I
Reiki's amazing.
isn't that just the most spiritual place?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care if you believe in God, the universe, or whatever else, just walking into that area, there's just
Mhm.
overwhelming, perfect, beautiful energy and spirituality that comes. And I just, yeah. If you haven't gone to Machu Picchu, everybody, I strongly encourage you to do it.
It was amazing. It was amazing. And in Reiki training, we received something called an attunement, originally
Mhm.
called initiation. And there were four of us. And after we got our attunements at Machu Picchu, sitting in front of one of the graves of the high princesses, a condor flew over us. And
Oh,
and our translator that was with us was like, "Oh my gosh."
yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool place. But what I have seen over the years with Reiki, with teaching it, offering it to clients, offering it to their pets, offering it to animals, wildlife, what I have seen over the years has just been miraculous. It's just been absolutely amazing. I love it so much. And the Reiki is very involved with our, luminous energy field. It affects our energy and our vibration, and it raises it. It's huge for our immune system. I just absolutely love it. I really do. And it's a great honor for me to teach it.
This is, I'm going to put you on the spot because I know I couldn't explain it well. So I'm hoping that you can. In fact, I know you can. For those of our audience who don't know what Reiki is, give them an overview. What is Reiki, and again, why is it so important for us?
It's basically just energy work. Um, we tap in, to our energy, luminous energy force. It's actually very scientifically backed.
Mhm.
They have done studies that show what it does for your immune system, like it does this to C cells or whatever. They've done studies what giving Reiki to people in hospitals and before surgeries. But basically, it's just working with our luminous energy field. It is all positive energy, can do no harm. And when someone gives someone a Reiki session, they are basically just putting them in a Reiki bubble in
Yeah.
just positive energy. And it flows through us to the person. Anyone can learn it, anyone can do it, but it's very simple, but yet very powerful. It is it is just a beautiful modality. It goes back thousands of years, and kind of like you can call it a hands-on healing where when someone receives Reiki, I kind of describe it as, I have clients that like, come once a month, whatever. And it's like pulling weeds out of the garden.
Mm-hmm.
There's blockages in our energy system or imbalances. It it works on that and just brings balance and positive energy. It it really is a beautiful and amazing and quite simple in how it works.
It's, yeah, it is very powerful. And I've talked about energy a couple of times on my other podcast on Karenisms. um but that energy flow changes everything about us. And I know having a Reiki session is amazing, but I'm wondering, do you ever do them remote?
I send Reiki long distance. Yeah. I
Okay,
don't
so
do training remote because it's very powerful, that hands-on attunement.
right.
But I do send long distance Reiki, which can be very powerful, and I've seen some amazing things with it. One example, this wonderful young lady who became a good friend of mine, a relative of hers in the US contacted me. She's in Australia, that she had 4th-stage cancer. And please send her long distance Reiki. So I did on a regular basis. She went through some stuff. She's cancer free. And she actually flew from Australia to Seattle to come take a Reiki class from me.
Oh,
And we became great
awesome.
friends, and she's still doing great. I've seen some amazing things with Reiki. It helps us physically with pain, um, disease, but it also helps us emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
But you can send long distance Reiki, and it can be very effective. Another example is an old friend who was with family. They were in Jordan, country of
Mm-hmm.
Jordan, and they're visiting. And her husband kept getting these headaches at night. So she contacted me and said, "Will you please send him some Reiki? Please send him some Reiki." So I did. Sat down one morning and sent some Reiki. Well, then she contacts me and she goes, "Did you send him some Reiki, Paula?" I said, "Yeah, I did." "What time did you send it?" I told her. She says that was his, it was in the evening for them. He had, his head had started hurting really bad, and then it stopped hurting. And it
Oh,
was when I sent the long distance Reiki.
I love that. Well, we'll have to talk. I'm going to be having surgery probably before this show airs, and I'm TMI, too much information, but I'm having I have cancer and I'm having a double mastectomy, and so I'll need you to send me some Reiki.
Oh, I
I know
will. I
everything's going
will.
to be fine,
Yeah.
and I still choose to be happy.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no. So we need to talk.
Yes. Yes. I am here for you, my dear.
Oh,
Yes.
you're awesome.
Yes. Yes. Reiki bubble coming. It,
Oh,
it's amazing what I've seen. Oh my gosh. I could give you so many examples. It's just a beautiful modality. And no, when I teach it, I'm very uh, it's important to me to teach authentic Reiki with respect, keeping ego out of it,
yeah,
because you're just the tool. You're just the funnel. You're not the healing. Yeah,
right.
but it is a wonderful modality, and I'm just so. And I swear it makes us younger. I do. I'm 65.
No
And
way.
yeah.
I no. That's you look amazing.
Oh, thank you.
And a
Yeah.
lot of it too is your smile and happiness.
Yeah.
Smiles actually make us look younger. I was
They
told it makes
do.
you look thinner too. So I
Yeah.
smile a lot.
I love it. You have a beautiful smile. But it
Oh,
does. I think, smiling and being in that high vibration, choosing, to look at what you're grateful for, be happy, dance a little bit. I mean, that makes a huge difference on us physically. It
yeah.
really, really does.
Well, tell us a little bit more about your book. I know it. You decided I'm going to do it at 60. It just kind of came to you, but tell me about the book and the impact that you've seen it have on people's lives.
Oh my gosh. It's been some beautiful impact. And I talk about a little bit about when I was bullied in school, and I had a woman contact me that had read it and said she showed that uh, to her daughter who was getting bullied in school, and she said it helped her so much. And I've had some really great reviews, and actually it's won the bronze and the gold medal from the Global Book Association out of
Yeah.
thousands of books. It was featured for free in Times Square last May.
Oh,
That was
awesome.
my 65th birthday present. I tell you, yeah, they pick 10 books a month. They do a 15-second, big, huge, 150-foot
How
billboard feature.
awesome.
And now I'm in talks with a film production company in California. Someone there read the book and they're looking about, they want to do a film.
Oh,
I'm
that is
just, oh my
wonderful.
God. And my attitude with it when I wrote it was just, I just want to be a positive energy in the world, and whatever happens, I'm grateful. That's where gratitude, I think, does so much with manifestation. For example, I've been interviewing people 9 years now. And a couple years in, I was featured on the cover of a magazine in New York. And then I was contacted by this news organization, and they do one free feature in Times Square every year and said, we'd like to do you, Paula. Okay, so I sent them the information and a picture with my sweet dog, Sophie. And I didn't ask any questions. My friends are like, well, where's it going to be? How big is it going to be? And I said, I don't know. I'm just grateful. I'm just grateful. All I asked is, could you send me a picture when it goes up? So here I'm thinking it's going to be an 8x10 in a window somewhere. When they
Uh-huh.
sent that picture of an 8-story billboard, I
Wow.
literally about stopped breathing. I
I'll
mean, you
bet.
just never know what's going to happen. Yeah.
Now, and I say this, I say it carefully. Uh, people, I've had people say, and I, like you, say, be positive, be happy, have good energy, be grateful. And comments that some people, most do not, but some people come back is, you don't understand how hard my life's been, or your life is so easy, you can be happy because you haven't had to deal with these battles. How would you handle those situations, and how do you help those people realize that it doesn't matter how bad it is, your attitude makes a difference physically
Yeah.
and emotionally?
Yeah. First off, I would just have compassion.
Mm-hmm.
You're going through a lot. I understand. I love you. Please know you're loved. Please know you're strong. Please know that this is now, but tomorrow's going to be a new day. The next day is going to be a new day. Joy is out there. You can succeed at this.
Yeah.
You're supported and you're cared for, and you will get through this. I basically something like that.
See, I love that because you're sending them love and positive energy, and you can't help but get some of that positive energy when somebody sends it to you from that pure place of love and pure heart.
Mhm. And sometimes we need, more than well, do this and this. Maybe that's what they need is I'm loved.
Yeah.
Somebody cares about me getting through this and I'm supported. That I think can really, help you with the next step forward.
Well, and one of the things that you say is that you have a server heart, and doing that to me is part of the server heart. But explain more about the server heart and what you mean by that.
I started telling myself that and feeling that probably when I was a teenager. I just love doing a lot for animals, and then I was working in restaurants even before college, and I just loved it. I realized I loved serving people. I loved sharing a smile and maybe holding a door or giving them a compliment like, oh, what a cute shirt, or you know I, And you could see it on someone's face when they get that so many times, how, oh, thank you, and
Mhm.
I loved it. I loved it. And so I just decided I have a server's heart and I want to continue with that.
How can others develop a server heart more easily?
I would say realizing that there are so many others out there. There's people out there. We don't know what they're going through.
Right.
We don't know the challenges others have. And to realize that if we can show a little compassion or kindness, you know, compliment, it can change their whole day. It can be
Yeah.
something they remember for days and months. Someone being nice to me. You don't know what they have going on at home or what they have going on at work or any other challenges. But getting a kindness gesture or a kind word from someone, somebody can carry that with them and it can make a big difference in their lives. And if you just take a few steps to do that, you are creating a server's heart.
I love that. Um, my kids laugh and they have it too. They say, Mom, you've got a face that says I care. Because
Oh,
we go to the grocery store and people will just stop and start talking to me. I mean, I had a gal one day in the soup aisle start telling me about her cat's hemorrhoids, and it's like, okay. Um, and my kids laugh and they say, well, you bought a face that says you care. But we really
Mhm.
analyzed, why do you think people do that? And what I've come up with is that I look people straight in the eye, smile and nod at them. I don't,
Mhm.
stare at them or, but I'll look at them in the eye and acknowledge, I see you and I smile. I
Oh,
smile, I acknowledge them. And it's just simply looking them in the eye, smiling and nodding and walking on. And you
I
never
love
know
it.
who's had a bad day and just needs a friend and needs to tell somebody about their cat's hemorrhoids. You know,
Exactly. Exactly. That made her feel good. Oh my gosh, we are so alike.
that's why
I
I
love
said
it,
we
Karen.
are,
Yes.
we're there.
Yes. And she just it really helped her to share that.
Yeah.
And you were such a person of kindness and compassion to stand there and look at her and let her share that with you. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Well, she obviously needed to. And who knows?
Mhm.
I mean, it may be that that was her only friend in the world is her cat, and she's afraid it's going to pass away. I mean, you never know how much of an impact what they're telling you is having on their life, but it's obviously having an impact, or they wouldn't feel compelled to tell a stranger about it.
Exactly. Exactly. And in realizing that, you know, someone can be holding something in what they're dealing with, and that little act of kindness and compassion can just mean so much to them.
Well, and sometimes it's easier for someone to feel safe with a stranger.
That is very true.
And
Yes.
if you can look at somebody in the eye, acknowledge they're a human being by just looking them in the eye and smiling and nodding. That's all I do is I nod, and it's just a I see you.
Oh, I
Sometimes
love it.
something that simple is all they need to feel like I'm not alone in the world. Somebody knows that I live, and you know, especially during COVID. I mean, we all became recluse, and it was really difficult. And it, to me, it goes along with all the things that you've said and done, and what you teach on a regular basis, and having that attitude of gratitude, but then sharing it with other people
Yes.
is important.
Yes. Oh, that is so true. Wow. That is a powerful message, Karen. That really is.
Well, it's a message I've gotten from you, so thank you very much for
Oh,
that.
thank you. Thank you. Yeah, what
Uh,
a difference we can make. I'll give you a little example. of when I started my show, Karen,
Hmm.
when I was first approached and asked to do a show about Reiki. And I wanted to end the show with love, hugs, and blessings.
Uh-huh.
And I said, oh, everybody's going to think I'm a weirdo if I tell them I love them. But after about a month, I went, I'm just going to be me. And that's how I end my shows.
You know what? And I absolutely adore that. And that's part of your positive attitude. And in something that I felt right away is that you truly do love everybody. And it's not just the people that you know, you love people just for being. And you look for the good in people, not to the point of hurting yourself because you let bad in, but you look for the good in people, and that is very profound and wonderful. So I just want to acknowledge that and to thank you for doing that for the rest of us.
Oh, thank you, my dear. And thank you for all you're doing. Oh my gosh.
We all do what we can. Is what another My sister or my mom have got a million quotes. And so I'm always quoting my sister and my mom. But my sister said, we're all leaving a legacy. We might as well live our legacy now so we don't have to wait until we die for people to have it. And she would say an inheritance is what you leave for other people, but a legacy is what you leave in other people.
Ah,
And you're living your legacy because you're helping people emerge into a happier place with what you share and what you teach and with your attitude and your thoughts and your words. And so, I love that you're living your legacy so people don't have to wait until you die to actually view it.
oh, thank you. Thank you, Karen. Wow, I had never thought of it that way. That is beautiful. We are living our legacy, aren't we? Wow, I love it.
Yeah, well, we're all going to leave a legacy. And if we are, we might as well leave the one we want. So,
Good point. Good point. And just, and you can have people that say, oh, you shouldn't say that or this or that. I'm just going to be me.
yeah. Well, and
Love
and I,
everybody.
I wish all of us could understand that me, being each person, me is beautiful and wonderful. And me, I have other people looking at me saying, I want to be like you. It just every single one of us have got somebody looking at us saying, I want to be just like them. And you tell us about our thoughts having more power than words, and they both do, but they change our actions and what we do. But tell me more about how these thoughts, our thoughts, really are profoundly impactful and change our lives.
Basically, because they set the direction of what is going to come. They set the direction of feelings.
Mm-hmm.
And with our feelings and attitudes, such as anger, jealousy, I'm very into the vibration levels. I've done a
Right.
lot of study on that. Those are very low vibration levels, and that's where our energy would be. Or our thoughts or gratitude, love, joy. That's very high vibration. And that sets where we reside. And that sets what we put out. And that sets what is attracted to us and
Right.
what we receive. So those simple thoughts of what direction, what do I want to think about? Do I want to think about the angry, the negative, or do I want to think about, oh, I remember this, or I'm going to do this today. I'm going to give myself a happiness trigger. I'm going to tell myself something that I love about myself that's
Right.
unique. I'm going to tell myself that today. that sets us in a high vibration, and that actually attracts more of that. It can make a difference on, I believe, who we connect with in our lives,
Right.
who we meet. So much starts from that inner direction that we choose to go with our thoughts and our words.
One of the books I've written is Emotional Power, and I love to teach. People say I have no control over my emotions. Well, you have control over your thoughts, and it's your thoughts that control your emotions. So if you're not feeling good, ask yourself, what am I thinking? And think about something else. Don't beat yourself up over it, but it's like you said, our thoughts just really dictate the direction we go.
Mhm. And that is, it's a fact. It really is. It's a fact. And really, that can that's an exciting fact. Because if we want to dig ourselves out of the hole we're in,
Mhm.
you know, thinking, emotional, we can do that because we have that choice. We have
Right.
that choice. Even if it's, maybe put a picture on the wall of something that makes you happy, makes you positive and excited, and glance at that every morning. Little things can do that, but that can make such a difference. I love that emotional power. I can't wait to read it.
It's my baby. I've done a lot of things, but I love that one. It's the logic behind emotions and the emotion behind logic, and it's written the way I speak, so it's not a
Love it.
thesis. But you brought up how put it on the wall and look at it and those things, and that leads us into manifestations, which I know is something you're really big on.
Mhm.
Um, Talk about that and how that has impacted your life and how you've seen it impact other lives.
I am really big on manifestations, and I actually every morning uh, I say prayer and mantras, and I say yes to positive manifestation in my life. I say that every morning, 3 times. I put that out there because manifestation, saying yes to it, allowing it, saying, yes, it's here, it's coming. But also with that, I have 2 different ways of looking at it. Okay, over here we have our goals, our wishes, what we want to manifest, which is all fantastic, what we're working for. But over here, let's just have a hand open to beautiful, positive manifestation that we may not even realize, that we may not even have a vision for,
Right.
and things can come that like Times Square. I never had even dreamed or thought about something like that.
Right.
Things can come that we don't even imagine, or so have a hand open for that wonderful manifestation that may come that we're just open to, and then what we're working for. So really there's 2 sides to that. There's what we're wishing for and working for, and there's the beyond that, which is very exciting.
That's
And just say
beautiful.
yes to it.
Yeah. That is profound and beautiful. So it's manifest what I plan to have happen and want to happen, but
Mhm.
also manifest that which is to come and which can help me into be. And
Yeah.
because we don't know. I mean, we change our mind every day on what we want to do. Uh,
Yeah.
we really do. Uh, I mean, we have some goals that are set, and it's like, yeah, I'm going to do this no matter what. But little things happen every day, and we have to change. We have to change our goals accordingly. And
Yes.
I would love to hear how you take your attitude of gratitude and you take your manifestation and you use them when those things change throughout the day. I mean, I know you do this in the morning and you
Mhm.
look at that and have the 2 hands out, which again, I'm gonna put a picture on my wall of 2 hands.
Oh,
Um,
I love it.
I mean, I love what you said there. But when these things happen, I mean, we all have something hit. We have a change. You know, the last night I was driving somewhere and I didn't know another way to get there. I only knew one direction and the road was closed. Well, that's a change. I had no idea how to get where I was going, and I didn't have my GPS on me, and it's like I'm stuck.
Oh,
But those things happen.
yep.
So how do you use manifestation and gratitude and positive energy and those things when those kinds of changes happen?
Oh, I love that question. And what an example. Well, I would say just okay. The path through the forest that I was on, that trail is no longer a trail. I'm going to go down another trail. And I'm going to be open to where this trail leads, to what's at the end of this trail. And I'm going to benefit, and there's going to be positive manifestation. Because so many times in life, we do go another path. When I was running my restaurant, my husband loved his job and raising the kids. And then all of a sudden, his illness, and then life changed.
Right.
It was a completely different life for me. And it was like, and so you have to make a new path, but you just, okay, I'm going to continue to step forward. I'm going to continue to step forward. And there is a story in the book about how I was able to buy the restaurant, what happened.
Yeah.
And it just, oh my gosh, what that, I'll never forget what it did for my heart. If you'd like, I'll share it.
I would say, please, I want to hear the story. Hear it in first
I
person.
had managed the restaurant for the owner for years. He never paid me more than minimum wage, but I managed the restaurant. Tips is how I fed my kids.
Uh-huh.
But he said when he retired, he would carry a contract and let me buy the restaurant. So that was like, that's my future.
Right.
And I had scrimped and saved what he said he wanted. Well, he was getting ready to retire, and I come walking in the restaurant, and he's sitting there with a couple gentlemen, and he says, they want to buy the restaurant. I want $100,000 more down. That was like $1 million to me.
Oh, yeah.
I went to the bank. I didn't even have a credit card. I wrote checks, paid cash.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, oh, little girl, you want to buy a restaurant? Oh, sorry. I was heartbroken all those years. And I was like, is this what I don't understand? I was just what's meant to be. And a couple days later, I had a lot of wonderful regular customers. And this one couple, he was a doctor, him and his wife were regular customers and had their favorite booth they like to sit in. Well, I had told them I was going to be buying the restaurant soon. And he said to me, so Paula, what's going on with the restaurant? And I must have got a look on my face. And he says, Paula, what's going on? So I told him. And a couple of days later, knocking on the kitchen door was his accountant with all the paperwork. And he co-signed a loan for me to buy the restaurant.
Oh.
And a year later, I got him off the loan. I mean, there are some good people. And our joke was I was going to name a booth after him.
Oh, I love that.
What that did to my heart, Karen, there are some good people in the world. Wow.
Amen.
Yeah.
And we have to look for good people and not focus on bad people. Acknowledge that, and I don't want to say people are bad, but acknowledge that people have bad behaviors. Some, but focus on finding those that are good and not because you want them to co-sign for, you know, a lot of money, but just because when you see good in other people, it helps you to develop more good in yourself.
Yeah. And I didn't, I had no idea he was doing that. And I could tell his accountant thought he was crazy. But I mean, and it was like just when I thought there was no option, I was just done. This little miracle happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just never know what can unfold.
Well, what do you think is the best way for people to prepare for changes that happen? You know, how do we prepare in advance so when it happens, it doesn't throw us so much that we can't keep going?
I would say just be open to realizing life is changes. Every day is a new day. Life's going to change. And something like maybe just starting the day with those mantras.
Mm-hmm.
I say yes to my body's health. I say yes to helping others, animals, the planet. I say yes to abundance and manifestation. Create what you start your day with that. And just that right there is going to help you prepare for what may come. Because life
I
changes.
I love that. I love that. I have a friend that actually thrives on change, but they laughed, and I it made me think of it when I talked about the road being blocked last night. They say, I've never been lost. I just take alternate routes to where I'm going.
I love that. I
I
love
thought
that.
that was so fun. I never get lost. I just take alternate routes to where I'm going.
And
And
that
it's
is
like,
so life.
yeah. And so when change happens, you just got to take an alternate route.
Yes. Yes.
No, that is, I love that. And it really goes along with everything that you teach. And, you know, you don't just teach Reiki, there are so many other things that you do. And what brought you into doing all those things? I know you had, you know, the being bullied as a kid and losing your favorite uncle and losing your husband and almost losing the restaurant.
Yes.
But
Yes.
good things happen there.
Yeah.
You know, how do you take all of that and find the way to be happy anyway?
I really, life is, I see it as there's the good stuff and there's the very difficult stuff. And life is like that. And personally, I'm going through something like that now. I have a new challenge. I'm taking care of a relative with dementia.
Oh,
It's a new challenge, and some days are really tough and I
right.
cry sometimes. But I have to just, Paula, you're doing your best. Just keep caring, Paula. You have so much to celebrate and people you care for and your pets and that. Anyway, like coming to my office and doing my interviews, doing my Reiki,
Mm-hmm.
that is just such joy for me. So it's like kind of I'm in two worlds. That's how I see it.
Right.
I have two worlds. I have the difficult challenges. I have the good. But I'm not going to let the challenges take my happiness because I have so much to be happy for.
Right.
And I literally sometimes have to tell myself every day, Paula, you can do this. Paula, you're going to get through this.
Well, and the hard thing with dementia and Alzheimer's even is they it almost sometimes feels like it's for naught because they have no idea what you're doing for them or how difficult it is.
Mhm.
But I want to acknowledge what you're doing because it may not be obvious to them, but the outside world, just knowing that you're doing those things, and it could be as much as the next door neighbor knows that you're helping them out, or it could be a niece or a nephew or a sibling, but those people's lives are changed, even if you feel like the life that you're working with isn't being changed. But can you imagine what it would be like if they didn't have you and they were just locked away in an institution somewhere?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
the sorrowful impact that would have, because even though they may not always be there,
Yeah.
they when they are, it's they feel it. And even if they're not there right at that moment, the energy is still flowing through them, and you're still sharing that positive energy with them. So pat
Yeah.
yourself on the back, because you're doing a remarkable thing.
Thank
I
you.
I don't envy you having the opportunity to go through that, but I definitely admire you for it.
Thank you. Thank you.
The it goes back to, you've said over and over again that gratitude makes such a difference, and I've been paying close attention as you've been speaking, honestly, but I find that as you're speaking, I can see things that I should be grateful for that I may not have even realized. And you talked about having food in the fridge. Well, you know what? I'm grateful that the sun is shining today, even though it's freaking cold outside. You know, I'm grateful. And we don't stop and look at those other things that we could have gratitude for. And
Yes.
and that goes back to what you said about finding those triggers. And it just go over finding triggers again for me, because that just touched my heart so much.
And that's so true. We can just be going through our day and not seeing, realizing, kind of ignoring those wonderful things that we have to be grateful for.
Right.
So really, just giving that a little attention can be a huge difference in our gratitude. You know, sometimes I drive by a bus stop and I say, gosh, I'm lucky. I'm so lucky I have a vehicle. Not
Hmm.
everybody does. You
Right.
know, little things,
Yeah.
sunset,
It is
music,
the
and
little things to be grateful for.
yeah, there's so much of that. A friendship, someone I care about, my dogs, my cats.
You know what? Amen to that. Hey, Jace, will you put up Paula's website for everybody to see? Because I know I am grateful for what she's doing, and I definitely want other people to go on and see more about you. Get the links to your show, because just uplifting people is important, and uplifting ourselves, and that is one of the things that you teach and show. So I am grateful for you. I'm grateful you came on this show today, and I am grateful that I will have a better life now, having met you and known you. And so I say all of that sincerely. So from the bottom of my heart, I love you and I appreciate you. So thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. I love you and I appreciate you, and I am just honored to be on your show. I'm just honored. I'll be smiling all day. This was so fun.
Oh, well, you've been a delight. And I tell everybody, thank you guys for joining us this week on Power Surge. Don't forget to join again next week, every Wednesday, 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern time. And don't forget to do Karenisms on Mondays, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern time, where we just go over short little snippets of things that you can learn and do. and fun things in life. That being said, Paula, again, mwah, I love you, and I look
Hug.
forward to a long friendship. And
Yes, my
and I
energy sister. I love
you
it.
are well,
Love husband
everybody be
blessings.
good. And as Paula would say, what was it? I love you. How do you
Love,
end?
hugs, and blessings. Love
Love,
you. Big hugs.
yeah, love, hugs, and blessings to all of you. Mwah. Ciao for now. Thank you for watching today's episode of Power Surge. If you found anything informative, useful, or entertaining, please hit the like button. Now, we told you how to get in touch with the guest, but to find out more about me, my coaching, events, or resources, be sure to go to drkarenperkins.com. Again, that's drkarenperkins.com. And if you haven't already, subscribe.